They call it higher education, and the notion has always been higher learning equals higher salaries.
People have been pushed towards degrees as a means of securing their futures.
And that may have contributed to a shortage of workers in a bunch of trades. Since July, Trade Me job listings for trade and service roles increased. Roles for builders and carpenters shot up the most, followed by sparkies, then construction and roading jobs.
In a lot of trades, those workers have aged out of the trades programs. We haven't backfilled them with new apprentices, and we've pushed too many people into other forms of qualifications in the belief that this would lead to long-term success for them.
A 2022 survey of 6,000 Kiwis found that, on average, someone with a trade certificate earned more than those with a graduate diploma or bachelor honours degree.
The evidence that we have from the labour market is that in many trades, in being an electrician, being in the construction trades, being a plumber, they're making more money and being in more control of their work than people with degrees.
Maybe it's time to swap out the graduation cap for a hard hat.
Well, for more on this, we caught up with Nick McIntosh from Trade Lab and asked if he thinks that there's a bit of snobbery around going into the trades versus getting a degree.
Hey, thanks for having me on. So, yeah, I think there is a little bit of that. I think, you know, within the school system, there's definitely a much stronger viewpoint that going to university and doing a degree will set you up for success long-term in life. And I think there's a little bit of irony in that because, you know, in society now we're very much about people, one, exploring their passions, but also, you know, playing to their strengths. And for a lot of people, that particular system and going through university isn't the right thing for them to do. And ultimately going into a trade or doing something that suits their strengths a lot better is going to set them up for success long term. If you look at all the infrastructure around you, all the houses, all the bridges, all the hospitals, the ports, the airports, all of those things are fundamentally all produced by the trades.
Yeah, on behalf of the marketing people, also very important to promote the bridge with a nice logo and maybe a billboard or something.
And can I add, on behalf of the art students, important to write a poem about that bridge later on.
So it all fits together, really, doesn't it?
Everyone is equally as important as each other. Nick, you did your apprenticeship and then decided to get a degree. What inspired you to have it both ways?
Yeah, so right when I was finishing my apprenticeship, I got shoulder tapped by a hydraulic design agency. And while I was there, my boss basically just said to me, hey, you know, would you be up for going to university and doing this? We think it'd be good for you. And that was, again, a paid education. So I just jumped into it and went for it.
Was it easy going to uni after you'd been on the tools?
No. To be honest, when I first started, I was absolutely shit scared. Once I sort of started to apply myself to that degree, I realised that, you know, I sort of wasn't as dumb as everyone had told me I was when I was at school. And ultimately, I actually graduated that degree winning the Senior Scholar Award, so it's basically topping my graduating class.
All right, so sell it to us for a 17-year-old who's watching tonight at home. Why abandon the university idea and consider trades instead? Earning
what you're learning along the way is good. And obviously you don't walk away with any sort of student debt either. I think the average student loan in New Zealand at the moment is about $20,000. Whereas, you know, walking out of an apprenticeship, you've got no debt, you've got nothing. And other reasons why people sort of end up in the trades as well is because they've got some sort of learning disability, so they don't sort of sit within the school system either. So it provides you a good outlet where, you know, you're learning with your hands, you're working with your hands, and so you're not having to, you know, be worried about bookwork and any of those learning disabilities getting in the way of you ultimately getting a qualification and getting a good paying job.
Well, you're a great advertisement for it, Nick. Thanks so much for your time tonight.
No worries, thanks.
Well, you're very convincing. And I've got to say, guys, this media thing isn't going to last forever. Maybe we will need to go into the trades. What do you guys think I'd be good at? Of all the trades, what do you think I'd be best at, knowing my qualities and my skills?
Probably the sitting down one. Digger driver.
There's a guy who's always there, he holds a clipboard.
Yeah.
You know, very smooth hands, just walking around with a clipboard. That's you. You're
the tradies always have the last laugh. My brother, who's a mechanic, he was getting together a group of people, mainly tradies, to build a deck, bit of a working bee. And I said to him, can I come along and, you know, help out? He goes, what are you going to do, introduce them?
Do you ever, this is an embarrassing thing to ask, but do you guys notice that like your voice changes a little bit when you're talking to
Oh,
tradies?
definitely, yeah. When
No,
builders-
mate. No, not
No,
me.
not me.
No.
I never swear, apart from when tradies are around, like, yeah, it's the bloody fence over there, mate. I don't know what you're talking about.
Look at a PG-13 household you're running with bloody qualifies to swear. You should hear the swear words I'm coming out with when a tradie's around. I'm sandpapering my hands before I shake them.